audio, video, synchronization, motion, sound, and light. Wait a minute, that's about wavelengths. Ah, yes. How about a boom? Binary, meaning two. Well, you know those lions and tigers and bears have males and females. People have 52 or more. Unless, of course, you're a binary, meaning two. Mull it over. All right, first link. Huge, important. Please watch, please share. This is on YouTube. This is Dr. Lee Merritt with Alex Newman. Alex Newman is from The New American. Right below that, I have the link to his website. He has done major, excellent investigative journalism. It might tie into the name. I don't know. It's that discerning mind. But Dr. Lee Merritt is the woman, surgeon, ex-military. I think she's been practicing medicine and surgery for about 40 years. I think she said she graduated in 1980. So 80 to 20 is 40, right? The new math. But she goes through an analysis of what's going on. If you recall, and I had posted this 3 or 4 times back in August when she did the discussion in Vegas, and she refers to that conference and discussion in this short interview. It's about 25, maybe 30 minutes. And what she comes up with is the analysis of what this coronavirus is, how it's been modified, and how they're not allowing it to be treated, and the potential with the mRNA impact that this could be a binary biological attack. And this is what Harry Baby has been saying. And this is the same thing in slightly different terms that Dr. Dolores Cahill said with the interview I put up with her and Reiner Fuellmich. That step 1, step 2, and it doesn't necessarily matter what the sequence is. If you have a vaccine with something and then you add this with it's something, you got 2 layers, and then you're exposed to the natural virus, it explodes in what they call an enhanced immune response. Now there's a great name. An enhanced immune response that kills you. And you need to watch this. It's very instructive. The second link is The New American, where he has his other videos, and he's on multiple video channels. So I think on that one, there are some links to Rumble. Okay, so you can find his videos. This one on YouTube had this morning 449,000-ish, almost 500,000 views. It's not his channel, it's not her channel, it's somebody who put it up, but it has definitely caught the virus, as it were. Wasn't that cute? Okay, so take a look, share. Very instructive. If you haven't looked at Dolores Cahill's video, check it. It's a couple of episodes back. Now, I'm going to have to do a review. I'll do it on the other channel this evening for the campers that have been missing everything over there. And I'm going to put up all of these most noteworthy links and important information because this all ties together, including David Martin's piece, right? And I think if you go through those 4 videos, this one included, you have a very thorough working understanding and are an informed person. You can share knowledge with other people. If you don't feel comfortable with that, go through the videos again and learn it. The best way to learn something is to try and teach it. Now, third link is Gateway Pundit. This is fun. There's some interesting stuff in today's show, campers. Let me give you a, well now, we're back. Gateway Pundit. Excellent link from Meg's Tidbits. This was from yesterday, and I saw it. I didn't have time to grab it yesterday. Facebook was wrong to block HCQ info and the American Journal of Medicine. I put JAMA. I don't know, is that the same one? The Journal of American AMA or the American Journal of Medicine? Maybe they're 2 separate ones. However, interesting discussion that Facebook had their committee meeting. Now, they have a committee that decides what is it, their censorship committee? You got to read this little article. It's short and sweet. And then I went to the effort to pull the American Journal of Medicine. That's called amjmed.com. This is the article that they refer to in the Gateway Pundit article. The link is there, but I'm pulling it here in our links. Link number 4, which is not numbered, 4th link. Bottom line, they go through the whole discussion of COVID protocols. And what Dr. Merritt discusses is the exact same thing yours truly said back in March. If you have a treatment, then there is no terror. Because if you get this little disease, you just say, okay, I'll take a shot of penicillin, right? Or I'll take HCQ. You have a treatment. What they have done is, it's a crime against humanity, as Reiner said, but I will say it is unconscionable. They have restricted the ability to cure the disease if you get it. They have removed it and limited it. They have even done it with doctors. Do you remember these stupid state governors were outlawing the use of HCQ, even off-label, for treating COVID? You could still use it off-label for other things, just not COVID. And of course, it was never officially approved. So it seems that the powers that be are slowly coming to the realization that they might be into a bit of blowback on this big time, all right? And at the bottom of the list, we have massive protests going on in Europe. Vienna, I put a link to Vienna. They had them in, where else? France, Denmark, and we had the Netherlands the other day. I put the link into Vienna. It was a live stream. I don't know if it's still going, but you can zip it back and see the beginning. It was pretty nifty stuff. I had a good chat with Meg about it this morning. And France also. They're passing new laws. They're having lockdowns. They're having curfews. And the public is getting very upset with this. And it's still, just think of what small number of people is showing up as opposed to the full population of that country or city. Unbelievable. But it's coming. And is this why Nancy Pelosi wants those fences around the Capitol, wants to say there are enemies within, aside from describing herself and her Democratic cohorts that are subversives? They must accuse the other side of doing what they're doing. So they're saying there are enemies within. Yes, you guys are the enemies, Nancy, and we know it. And they know we know. So therefore, that makes us the bad guys, because they're the enemies within, right? Flip-flop. Great, when you turn everything upside down with the rules for radicals. Saul Alinsky. However, just because something is codified doesn't mean it's still not insane, okay? Mental illness codified as a process doesn't make it any less mentally ill. You can quote me on that. Maybe we should put that on a t-shirt. Yikes. All right, we're feeling better now. A little humor towards the demented. So that's the Gateway Pundit and then the American Journal of Medicine. And in the American Journal article, he hits HCQ, he hits, he doesn't hit ivermectin, I don't think. I read it this morning. But he hits zithromycin, he hits zinc, and then this other one that just they started talking about a couple of days ago out of Canada. Remember that? We haven't heard anything else. Cosatrine or Cocatrin or something like that. Interesting. And that is used to treat gout, an anti-inflammatory. Fascinating. But they didn't discuss ivermectin in this article. But they are saying that these treatments and protocols need to be studied and addressed, right? Right. Maria, correct. Call, let me, oh, it disappeared. I'll have to use two hands. Here you are. Where did it go? Colcachin. Yeah, but I forgot the pronunciation of it. Good, thank you. Hello, Denise. I see you there, too. So this is interesting. So now we're getting it published in medical journals. They're discussing it and saying that this needs to be reevaluated and maybe reintroduced because of the massive number of deaths. Now, I remind you, if you listen to, and when you listen to Dolores Cahill, when she was talking about confronting doctors with the criminal reality of having a prosecution and an insurance payout and a massive increase in their malpractice insurance, that doctors, by improperly marking death certificates, could be criminally charged and or, now see, we're getting max headroom. They could be criminally charged and face a massive increase in their insurance. As a result of that, demanding that they correct the death certificates to reflect the proper cause of death, not the incentivized, expanded, liberally construed version, as articulated by Deborah Birx. It's being construed liberally, saying it's a 20 to 25% higher than accurate, right? What she did, meaning Cahill, knocked down, at the time she did this, 1,700 deaths down to what? 92. That is a very impressive, what shall we say, correction. Now, I'd like to take that number. Let's do the math. 92 out of, what, 100 or 1,700 equals X over 400,000. And let's see how that number pans out. Right, campers? Cross multiply, if I recall. The lighting is weird today. Sorry about that. Let's move on. We had a discussion on how come nobody mentions on Fox News Mitch McConnell's lovely wife, Elaine Chao. And the spelling is C-H-A-O. Okay, and she was the Treasury Secretary. And somebody was kind enough, and I forgot their name, but I am posting it here, and I gave them a thumbs up and said thank you in the comments. This is a Breitbart article talking about it, and it's dated from about 2 weeks ago, the 17th of January. But the bottom line is, in this little article, they have the link to, what's Hilton's name? The guy on Fox. Steve Hilton. And he had a brief 3-minute interview with this guy, Schweitzer, who writes these good inside baseball muckraking books. And in fact, after listening to this, I might order his book on corruption in Washington, D.C. to make oneself completely cynical, right? And he's here talking to Steve Hilton, talking about McConnell's wife and Chao's family. And it's not a shipping business. It is a shipbuilding business, according to this guy Schweitzer, which I hadn't realized. I thought it was a shipping company. Fascinating. And the connection to the financial interests and the benefit of state-run shipping companies, etc. Very interesting 3-minute piece, but my point still stands. This wasn't hammered by Hannity. It wasn't tweeted out by Trump. It wasn't made front and center anywhere. This is a passing 3-minute clip out of a 24-hour news cycle for months and months and months. And mind you, this is put out on January 17th, well after all elections and decisions had been made, right? The inauguration was on the 20th. And if you recall, McConnell was threatening Trump to say what? What the hell was the argument? I don't remember, but it was his negotiation point. I don't remember which one he was arguing, but he was saying that it would be likely that Trump would be convicted if Trump didn't do something. Oh, on a pardon, I think it was. If he did a pardon, all right, if he pardoned Assange and Snowden or Snowden, it would increase the likelihood of his conviction in an impeachment. At which point Trump should have trumped him and said, right, and how's your wife's family's shipbuilding business in China? All of the legislation you're doing and your softened approach to restrictions on China, is that benefiting your family business directly, or is it just indirectly? That's a smart-ass question, isn't it? Objection, assuming facts not in evidence. Okay, then let's go to the foundation. Does the business benefit by China trade deals with America? How so? Let's explain that and then work it through. So then you can pop them with the double pronger. So is it directly or indirectly that your family business benefits by your legislation, Senator? Got it? Just playing it off the cuff here. The next link, so again, thank you for that good link. Take a look at it. The 3-minute clip is interesting, and Schweitzer is interesting, isn't it? Oh my God, Denise. I don't think the Chinese containers have the pop-ups. I think those are the UAE containers, and my bet would be that's our friends at the agency bringing them in. Those aren't foreign people bringing them in. Those are our own homegrown psychopaths doing it. Don't you know? Well, now. Okay. Federal judge to extend order blocking Biden administration's 100-day deportation pause. Right? Yes. Club K. Interesting. So the judge is extending his injunction, prohibiting Biden from stopping the deportation. So does that make it a double negative? Unbelievable. But it's good to see. So he's on it. Boom. Also, there's little quips coming out. There were 6 AGs that basically told Biden, listen, you are impinging on fundamental rights, and we've got a problem with that. Some Republicans are saying that. Some representatives, the AGs, said they will fight back on this guy's climate executive orders that are impacting on businesses. And the governor of Texas is also coming after Biden and instructing his AGs to go after these executive orders. So I'm glad to see this is spooled up. Not quite as radical as the Soros-funded operations against Trump's orders, but I don't know. Were Trump's orders written as well? I haven't read these yet. I don't even want to, but I guess I kind of have to, don't we? We do, because otherwise we don't know what's lurking under the surface in the swamp. Ha ha. Well now. Okay. Flipping the page, this was also a poke, because there's 2. I started with the Epoch Times on a Virginia media company files an antitrust lawsuit against Google and Facebook. I'm like, oh, cool. So it's a private business doing it, and they are alleging that Google and Facebook were coordinating, and what the hell did they call it? Operation... let me see if it's in here. I don't remember, but it was kind of cute. And basically it dealt with advertising and the algorithm and the sequencing of throwing the ads in. So Google and Facebook agreed they would do this, and they were basically taking over the whole market. And this is a private media company saying, hey, you guys are destroying our market, and it's an unfair competition, and it's an antitrust violation. And evidently the document between the 2 companies was released in a redacted form, and then other people have allegedly seen it in an unredacted form. It's a curious point. However, while reading this little article, which is quite informative, and this is new, this came out yesterday, or maybe this morning, early, the bottom is another article, and this was disturbing. The date on this I don't have here, but it was within the last few weeks, in January. The Federal Trade Commission, FTC, ends the Google antitrust investigation. So in all of the sound and fury of Buffalo Boy up there, and fences and orange hats, and yeah, we managed to miss the fact that the Federal Trade Commission, oh wait, and not only fences and orange hats, let's not minimize the actual on the ground visuals. Let's talk about the hopium being spewed of what was really going on, and that Biden will never swear in. And what does Pechenik have to say? Did anybody even look? Horseshit. Anyway, in all of that sound, fury, distraction, and theater, the Federal Trade Commission ends its Google antitrust investigation. Now, this is interesting because this is the Federal Trade Commission. What about the Department of Justice and their antitrust investigation that they were going to be doing? Or did they hand it over to the FTC? I don't know. But this seems to me like this got handed off and kind of swept under the rug. And I just saw this, so I'm throwing the link in getting the FTC ends Google antitrust investigation, and then the Virginia media company files an antitrust lawsuit against Google and Facebook. Thank you, Pasta Man. Because for how many years has everybody been saying, where the hell is the antitrust litigation against Google, who owns YouTube? And then we've got the Facebook, and then we've got the Twitter. And all these guys are doing the censorship. And nobody is really challenging. I mean, oh, well, they're exempt, they're exempt. I don't buy it. Just remember something. RFK Jr. and his Children's Health Defense and a couple of their individual attorneys and doctors sued Facebook in California on an antitrust, was it antitrust or was also a civil RICO, on the theory that they were acting as agents for the government, which I don't believe you don't have to make that claim in order to sue them on a civil RICO. But they did, and they tied it into the communications from Schiff to Facebook. Now suddenly that's an instruction from a government official on what they should do and limit and expunge and censor. Interesting. But they're on it, so that's good to know. All right, and now the last link is, well, we have one I just added just now. The Vienna protest. This is this what Pelosi's afraid of? Yeah, I think it is. And that's why they're positioning to make everybody a terrorist who's not one of their little cabal, a domestic terrorist, because that gives them, in their mind, and their plan at least, and it is a plan, it is not a fact yet, so let's be careful, right? The plan is to make everybody a suspect right after 9/11. From victims, we became suspects. We want to do it again. They do a little false flag attack into the Capitol, and then they want to say these are violent extremists, and then they're using language of communist authoritarian takeover, like these people need to be, what's their word? Deprogrammed, re-educated, a re-education camp. This is communist verbiage. Cleansed, banned from working, ostracized, removed from Congress, removed from the workforce, a purge, really. And none of our shithead media has managed to come out and say, this is verbatim communist takeover, authoritarian dictatorship language. Why are congressional and senatorial representatives allowed to speak this, clearly violating the constitutional provisions they swore to uphold, and they are bound by, whether they meant their oath or not, they're still bound by them, okay? The bottom line is, they're spewing this garbage, and nobody's calling them on that? Is that your job, campers, or are we waiting for somebody else to do it? I've been saying this for a while, and this is important stuff. So, the Vienna protest live. Nothing like the sound of smashing pumpkins. GameStop explanation. Who put this up? I'm seeing Denise up there. It's not Denise. This was was it Denise B? No. Well, I apologize, but she knows who she is. She put this as very cool. This is a little more in-depth in a kind of a fun way of this whole, what is this called, GameStop? GameStop, I wrote GameStop. You know, well, it is the stock, the GameStop company. An interesting explanation of how this developed from the Reddit people, etc. Now, it wasn't you, Denise, I know that. Yeah, oh, it was Barbara D. I think that's who it was. Okay, I knew there was, the D got me there. Sorry about that. Bill B and Barbara D, it's a DB, and I'm getting dyslexic. So this is a fun little thing. It's not long, but it's a very interesting perspective, and I think this was as of Friday night. So I'm not sure where we're at with it because of the restrictions put on by Robinhood trading app platform. As a result, the stock did drop dramatically because people were stopped from buying it. Very strange. So there is a class action, and we're told 2 class action lawsuits, and I think there should be. There are calls for investigations. Now, my concern, and as you will probably know, they'll end up investigating the people at Reddit and charge them with manipulating a stock price rather than the hedge funds that were trying to bankrupt the company because the hedge funds took the hit. Let's see which way this spins. And the stretched Gumby doll, Elizabeth Warren, is making some noise about this too. Interesting. And that's what we've got. So listen, the boom is the first link. Dr. Lee Merritt and Alex Newman. That you should watch, open it in a new tab and enjoy. All of this stuff is real good. I need to do a review, like the week in review, and I need to do it on the other channel and say, hey, so like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and subscribe. Of course, I'm putting in PayPal and Patreon links. If you are enjoying the channel, please continue supporting it, and I thank all of those who have done so and continue to. And I send out my thank you notes. I'm caught up, so I'm being timely about it. All right. All right, campers, take a look, take a listen, and please share that because that won't be around for long, I think. And The New American is the one where this video comes from. Alex Newman is also on BitChute. Meg sent a link out that was from BitChute, and it was funny because we both kind of hit this. This is YouTube. This is hot off the presses, and it appears to be going viral. Was that Frogville I saw? There you go. Show us the guitars. Oh, here, hold on. Can we do the switch? All right, 1 second for the guitar hanging on the wall. Boom, come on. I'm going to put one right here. Right there. This way when I turn, I can be as cool as Harry. All right, those are those two. And I got the other one back there, of course, and the other one in the case under the bed. So maybe I'll make wall hangings out of all of them. And when I get frustrated, I can play Jimmy Plays Berkeley with some lighter fluid. All right, campers. Yeah, you should see the holes in the walls. It's like, needs some spackle. Looks like a dartboard. I kept moving them around. All right, we'll see you all later. Thanks for tuning in. Have your machine call my machine. Loved your last movie. Never changed, babe. We'll do lunch. Thanks for calling. Nice chatting. Gotta go. Bye. All right, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Please check out that link and send that to people who have any questions. And also the Dolores Cahill thing. Very serious questions. I sent that to a few people. And I'll say hey to Biff and from Sweden. And we had a good dialogue yesterday. So we're trying to put some things in motion and contact people we know. All right? So we'll talk to you all later. Excellent, Duxbury Real Estate. Where's the $100, man? What's his name did not resign from Sunday. Welching. And you have the nerve to come here and keep chirping. Now going to tell us about $10 worth of silver. So sell some of that silver and put it in PayPal over to FJ, pal. Yo, yo. Give me the ball. We'll see you later. All right, campers. Break his chops. Have a great day. It's a Sunday, and we're in black. Bye for now. Thank you.